about to be schooled through core subjects on the popular Japanese sport of Sumo. Welcome to Sumo 101. Let's start with the name. The Japanese word sumo literally translates into striking one another, which is fitting since that's something they do quite often. And what do you call the competitors that strike one another? Rikishi, a word that means strongman. The Rikishi wear a heavy silk cloth called a mawashi. Tassels complete the traditional uniform. Sometimes these tassels come off during a bout. Thankfully, the mawashi stays on. The Rikishi compete in a ring called a dohyo, handmade out of clay, sand, and rice bales. A dohyo takes 3 days or more to build, and a new one is created for each tournament. To maintain order in the dohyo, the referee, known as a gyoji, officiates sumo matches. He uses a paddle to indicate go time. Once the battle is on, the gyoji stands close to the action. But sometimes they get a little too close for comfort. Yokozuna is the highest rank in sumo. There are usually only 2 or 3 yokozuna at any given time, and they hold this status for the remainder of their career. Now that you're caught up on the lingo, let's dive into a bit of sumo history, which dates back many centuries. Professional sumo began to flourish as a spectator sport around the year 1600. Less than a century later, in 1684, a series of annual sumo tournaments began. Over the next 200 years, the sport gained so much popularity that in 1909, it was named the official sport of Japan. In 1953, pro sumo hit living rooms nationwide as the first sumo tournament was broadcast live. Japanese wrestlers dominated the sport for centuries, but by 2014, for the first time in history, all 3 yokozuna were non-Japanese. Kakuryu, Hakuho, and Haramafuji all came from Mongolia. Now that you're caught up on sumo's history, let's take a quick look into the numbers. Let's start with 270, which is the number of kilograms Yamamoto Yama, the heaviest Japanese sumo wrestler in history, weighed. That's almost 600 pounds. The number 6 represents the number of pro sumo tournaments held each year. And our final number is the number 0, which is the total number of weight class limits in pro sumo. In fact, pro sumo is one of the only martial arts disciplines in the world with no weight classes. That'll do it for your crash course in sumo. Thanks for taking Sumo 101. Class dismissed.